Hi, it's me. I'm back for Veda, day 10. I'm here to talk about recovering from mental illness, because that's everyone's favorite subject. Just a fair warning, this video is going to be mildly personal. Probably by mildly, I mean very personal. So if, emotions and feelings and all that get you really weird, I recommend you stop watching. Because, honestly, emotions make me feel really weird. But I'm here because some people need to see stuff like this. So, here I go. I am recovering from depression and anxiety. Let me tell you, it's not easy. In fact, at times, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I wake up at 5 a.m. feeling like utter crap. Feeling like everything is pointless and why am I still here, because this whole life thing just doesn't seem like it's for me. Because I'm just here floating while everyone else seems to have a place in the world and seems to fit in and feel like they belong and feel like the world is there for them, and I'm sitting here in a cocoon of self-pity and self-hate and loneliness and sadness and just what's the point of it all. And then some days I wake up and I feel like everything's good. Like I could get up and run a marathon. I could get up and do whatever I wanted because life is okay. And I'm feeling good, and I'm not feeling like I want to die. And I feel like that's a lot of what recovery is that it's sort of a back and forth between feeling like utter crap and feeling like you are on top of the world. And you just have to give in to one of those feelings. I don't know if I'm saying this really well, but I've struggled with this for a really, 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 really long time. I feel like my first instance with depression was probably in 5th grade. I was being bullied and life was a mess and I hated everything and I just never really got out of that rut. And then it all sort of came to a peak in 8th grade. I ended up in the hospital twice that year. Once it was more discreet, not many people knew about it. The next time I ended up posting this big letter on social media and ended up in the hospital for like a week, which was not fun for me or my friends, and it was pretty selfish of me to say this, but honestly, just the feeling that people actually cared what happened to me really just made me feel good. I mean, I hate that I say this because it came out in one of the worst ways possible, for me to actually feel like I was loved, for me to be for them to think that I'm dead, for me to actually feel like people cared, I guess. Which is kind of crappy of me to think, but that was what was going through my head at the time, because my head was messed up, and I was screwed up, and just everything was a mess. And I guess after a while, I started, getting better, sort of. I mean, I was seeing a therapist on the Fridays, and I was being put on new medication left and right, and I was seeing a psychiatrist, and all this stuff, and then it happened again. And I ended up in the hospital again. And then I came home. And then everything was going good for a while. And then I ended up in the hospital again. But this time, as I've mentioned to you in another video. This time I ended up going to a mental place, the behavioral center, for like a week, and they put me on some better medication, and it's been really helping me these past few months, and I've been slowly getting better. It's not easy, this whole recovery process. Like I said, you wake up sometimes feeling like crap and feeling like you have no motivation and feeling like the world is a dark place and it sucks and it's not worth being here for. And it's true. It's true. The world does suck. The world is awful. But the world might be awful and terrible and we all wonder why we're living in it. But when I'm in one of my moods and I'm like, what's the point of being here? I think about the little things. The little things. A nice cup of tea in the mornings when the sun is still coming up and you're feeling tired and it's just feels good. Hugs from your best friend. Making someone laugh. When someone gives you a compliment and you get that tingly feeling inside and it just makes you light up for a moment. The feeling of the sun on your face on a cold day when it finally comes out from behind those clouds. Pulling a blanket out of the dryer and snuggling up in it on a winter day. It's true that the world is an awful place. But there's some good things about it. And I think the trick is finding those good things. For when you're in one of those bad moods and you feel like life is pointless and the world is pointless and everything is just going to hell. Recovery is hard. It is. It's really hard, and you're gonna have setbacks. You're gonna have days where you feel like you want to do nothing. You'll have days when you feel like everything is out to get you and you're nothing. 'Cause I know, I've had those days. And I guess, talk to someone. Talk to a friend, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or your parents, or a pastor if you're religious. Talk to someone who makes you feel good when you're having a really bad day. Take a day to yourself. Have a day where you just binge watch your favorite show and do nothing but lie in bed and do stuff to take care of you because you are important. As much as you feel like you're not and that your life is just meaningless, you're important. To someone out there, your smile means the world. To someone out there, your presence in their life makes it that much better. And I know that you don't feel it. You don't look at it that way. You think, me, really? I make someone's life better. I've wondered the same thing. Honestly. And I still wonder it. To this day, I wonder, will I ever find someone who I make happy, who I make their day better? But I know that even if I don't have that right now, I will have that one day. One day I will have that person who tells me that my smile lights up their life, that my life makes them just better. And you will too, as much as you don't believe it. Life isn't always sunshines and rainbows. It's darkness and clouds and it's days where you want to do nothing but lie in bed. Where you want to do nothing but feel sorry for yourself and hate yourself and want nothing to do with people or interactions or anything. But you've got to push through it. Because one day, your problems could help people. You could help save someone's life. One day, you're gonna mean something to someone. One day, you're gonna be someone's world. And why would you deprive someone of everything they've ever dreamed of? Because you are that to some person. And if you don't believe that, if you don't think that if you don't want to live for someone else, then live for yourself. Fight this for yourself. Fight this to prove those voices in your head that they're wrong, that they can tell you that you are worthless, that you're nothing, that you mean nothing to anyone. Tell them that you mean something to you. Tell them that you are worth it. You are worth living for. Live to graduate high school. Live to get out of college. Live to get a job that you love. Live to get married. Live to have children. Live to experience life to the fullest. Recovery is an awful process. You're gonna have setbacks. I can't tell you how many times I've just cried myself to sleep because everything just got so overwhelming. Everything just hit me like a truck, and I just fell apart. And that's okay. It's okay to fall apart. You're only human. You're allowed to have those breakdowns. You're allowed to relapse. That's all part of the recovery process. It's awful. It hurts. But you're gonna get through it. I'm going to get through it. I guess my last sort of thing here that I'm gonna drop off here is don't wallow in it. Because I feel like for me, I was sitting in this pit feeling like one day something's gonna change and something around me is gonna pull me out of it and I'm just gonna be fine and everything is just gonna make itself work out. But I don't think that's the reality of the situation. I mean, maybe for some people it is, but for me, I had to take the reins. I had to pull myself out, and I'm still trying to pull myself out. But you've got to work too. You can't just sit around and wait for things to get better. You have to try to make things better for yourself. That stuff that everyone's telling you to do, try it, do it. Try to make yourself better. Try to get over these hurdles. Don't just sit around and wait for everything to work itself out, because you've got to help it along. You've got to be there and try to help yourself. If not for someone else, then for you. To prove all those people wrong. To prove that voice in your head that it's wrong. Recovery is hard. But you're gonna get through it. I love you all. Even if you don't love yourself, even if I don't love myself at times, someone out there loves you. Okay, that was my little sappy late night video. I hope it helped at least one of you. Or, helped you a little bit. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna go now before I start crying. Okay, that's cool.